So you've just imported the jewelry into your project and drag and drop the prefab onto your hierarchy in here to make sure it's attached. But let's say you want to go through and edit exactly, which jewelry. Maybe you don't want these brow piercings, or you want a simpler set of maybe just the ankles and wrist. So with your downloads, you should have had a Moonfang jewelry blend file. So you want to open this up. And it should look something like this. If it doesn't, and these are gray, you want to make sure you're in this material view here, and then you want to make sure your Moonfang base color is packaged. If it's not, you can come in here and you click open, and then you navigate to where the jewelry is. You go into your texture and material, and then you import this base color to get it to display. Another useful thing is we want to kind of see exactly, what it's going to look like on our avatar. So we'll go to import FBX again. We'll navigate to your project and your avatar. In this case, I'm going to import the creature V0.55 into the scene, and it comes in as this. So you can select the body, and we'll do the same thing to load an image texture. So go to this material button, go to the body, and this base color, click the little yellow dot to import image texture, open it up, and then go and navigate where your texture is. And then you want to import, the creature body. So this is what it'll look approximately like on my Moonfang. Now, there's quite a list in here. All the jewelry is split into its own separate object. But deep in here is this thing called Moonfang jewelry, and this is what we want to merge to. So before, I said, we want to just maybe have these wrist cuffs and then the Moonfang jewelry. So what we're going to do is I'm going to select this in scene, select this, select these two by also holding shift and just left clicking on them. And you see they're actually selected in here. Then I'm going to click control and click on this Moonfang jewelry. This wants to be the last selected object in this list. And then I'm going to go to object, and I'm going to click join right here. And then I said I also wanted this ankle stuff. So you can do it in the same way. You can go and select each piece. You can also come in here and select multiple by holding control, or selecting one and clicking shift so that you select all of them. So now I have all of this ankle stuff collected. For simplicity, I'm going to join it together, so I have just this one ankle here. And then you can either scroll down to the Moonfang jewelry in here, or you can click control and then shift and then click on some other thing in the scene. You can tell you have it because it's called Moonfang jewelry. And you go to object and join. All right, so let's say now I want to see what exactly it looks like with all this other stuff. A quick way to hide it all is simply click A to hide, or select all, then click H to hide it. Navigate back into here, and you see how everything has this like closed eyeball. Well, now I want to just click it open to show it in the viewport, and then I want to scroll down to the imported armature and the creature body and show that as well. So this is approximately what it'll look like once it's exported back. All right, to export it back, you need to click control and select the jewelry, and then scroll up to the armature, make sure it's shown, and then click control on that as well so that both are selected. You then go to File, Export, go to FBX. You then go into the project that you've loaded this, so in this case it's my Moonfang accessories, and you go into the Moonfang jewelry, your FBX, and this is the base Moonfang model, so I'm going to just select this jewelry to save over it. Limit to selected objects so that it's just the armature and the jewelry I have selected instead of everything. You go to FBX unit scale, and then you go into this armature and you deselect add leaf bones, and then you can click export. Now if you go back to your scene, you'll notice that simply I have all this jewelry available. and it's the simplified set. Another thing to take note is when you're in here, there's the statistics that has this triangles. You'll need to be below 70,000 if you want to stay medium. So if you toggle some of the other jewelry back on and, you know, kind of keep it visible, you see that that clicks up. So, you know, I couldn't add the collar chain, but I could add the lower left or lower right chain if I wanted. So just be cognizant of that. The chains in general tend to have a lot more polygons. But let's say now you want to load some of these advanced jewelry. So this is a lot of the face jewelry up here. The studs, the ring, this chain along the brow. So this requires to be merged into the body mesh. So in this case, we've already had the body mesh imported into our scene. If you didn't, you'll have to do so now. You'll want to click on this wrench right here for the modifiers, and you see how it imported on its own armature. Well, now we want to switch it to the jewelry armature. This step only matters if you want the strawberry earrings or this chain that's hanging from the horns on the back or down along the sides, because those are the ones that introduce new bones for the physics. If you don't have that, you can skip this step, but for now I'm gonna follow along with it. We're gonna set it to our parent. We're gonna move it to the new armature, and we're gonna do the same for the eyes. So its parent's gonna be the other armature, its modifier is going to be the other armature, and we're gonna move it in here. It's the same steps. So let's say, you know, I want the chain. Let's say, you know, the muzzle stud. Let's do 3 on the left, and then the nose ring. It would be really lopsided. Object join. We'll select this. We'll add it to the Moonfang jewelry down in our list, and then we'll join it into the Moonfang jewelry. Now we need to click on the jewelry. You need to control and select the creature body, and then you need to actually join it into the main body. So now that it's part of the mesh, this will make sure that when your visemes trigger or you have face tracking, that, you know, these studs on the lip or the bridge of the nose or the chain or the ring will move along with it. When you have that merged in, you do the same process as before. You're going to get the armature. You're going to control select the creature body. And in this case, the base model has the eyes separated. If you use the face tracking version, the eyes are part of the main mesh, so you just need to export the body. Once you have all selected, you'll go to the same. You go to FBX export. In this case, you want to go to your avatar. In this case, I'm actually using the creature face tracking edit, and you want to do the same settings on export. So selected objects only, unit scale, and you want to add leaf bones off, and then export. We'll go back to the scene. And we have this creature body. So we don't need this jewelry anymore because it's now built into the avatar. And instead, what you're going to do is you're going to take this toggles and this physics, and you're going to drag it on. You need to open them up. In this case, now we have to go find the correct bones to add. So they're mostly on the head. So we have horn chains. This is on jewelry root. We have center chain, and this is on root squish. We have left strawberry, and these are on the ears, so we expand the ears, and we add left strawberry. And then the ear we'll run is right strawberry. Not the root, but the strawberry itself. And we'll look in the inspector to make sure the gizmos are just the bones we want. So this is going to be the dangly chain if we had it. Same, this would be the center chain, and then if we had the strawberries, it would be those. And then you're going to unpack the toggles. And in this case, it's the prefab unpack. I don't care, because what we want to do is in this toggles, there's these 2 turn offs. You want to make sure you drag the physics in there. And now when you upload this, your visemes will track along with the rest of the face.